Chen Yu traveled to the world of high martial arts, but was judged by the will of the world as an intruder and cursed. Curse effect. State reversal, in practice. Strength Chi. 1, 2, 1, 1. During exercise. Obesity +1, weakness +1, physique 1, strength 1, endurance 1. Chen Yu. Bullying people too much. I won't practice anymore. Laziness. Strength +1, +2, +2, +1. Staying up late. Health +1, immunity +1, cardiopulmonary function +1, fatigue 1. Indulging in desire. Health +4, energy +3, strength +3, strength +20, lifespan +2, sage time 5. This curse that's really great. Keywords of the novel. This curse is amazing, no pop-ups, this curse is amazing. Download the entire TXT collection, this curse is amazing, read the latest chapter. Chapter 1. Is there a bug in this curse? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Is there a bug in this curse? Countdown to the college entrance examination. 33 days. Cultivate for the sake of safeguarding the country. The time and space gate at 341B Qingqing City will open tomorrow. Looking at the slogans and notice boards hanging everywhere in the classroom, Chen Yu looked bewildered. He is this time traveling back to before the college entrance examination. What's going on with cultivation? What is the space-time gate 341B? Amidst confusion, countless memories appeared out of thin air, merging with Chen Yu's original memories. In just half a minute, Chen Yu understood everything. Yes, he has traveled through time. Traveling back to before the college entrance examination. However, unlike normal travel, this world is actually another parallel Earth. A high martial Earth. In this world of high martial arts, dangers abound. Outside the city, various ferocious and terrifying beasts are ready to attack the walls at any time, slaughtering all humanity. The human race can only continuously enhance their strength and work hard to maintain the situation. As for culture, economy, politics, development, and so on, they all seem a bit neglected. Only strength is everything. Only strength is the foundation for the continuation of a race. Therefore, the status of warriors is very high in human society. Usually, the salary for the lowest level of Level 1 cultivators applying to major enterprises will not be lower than 200,000 yuan per year. Level 2 cultivators, with an annual salary of at least 1 million. Level 3 and above are highly sought after by numerous forces. At this time, Chen Yu was a high school third-year cultivation class student who was about to participate in the college entrance examination. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. JFF hashtag. **** GS. Detect that the soul does not belong to the current world. Qualitative as invasion of alien souls. The curse is in progress. Warning, please leave the current world, otherwise the curse will gradually increase. Warning. Please leave the current world, otherwise the curse will gradually increase. Warning, please leave the current curse. Am I cursed? Listening to the sudden electronic synthesis sound in his ear, Chen Yu's face was filled with shock. The curse succeeded, curse effect. Causal reversal of state. Warning. Please leave the current world, otherwise the curse will gradually increase. When? Before Chen Yu could recover, a piece of chalk suddenly hit him and accurately hit his forehead. Ah! Chen Yu couldn't help but let out a painful cry and covered his forehead. There are only 33 days left until the college entrance examination. Are you still daydreaming? Don't you practice? On the podium, the homeroom teacher pointed at Chen Yu with an angry expression on his face. Sailing against the current, if you don't advance, you will retreat. If you keep being lazy like this, you won't even be able to beat elementary school students. In the classroom, students who were disturbed to practice turned their heads and looked at Chen Yu with surprisingly consistent eyes. That's disgust. A genuine rejection from the heart. The reason is very simple. The wilderness outside the city and the exotic land within the gate of time and space are both desperate places where one can narrowly escape death. For safety reasons, almost all human cultivators work in groups. Collaboration is extremely important. In order to implement this idea of unity, starting from elementary school, each student is trained and retreated together on a class basis. And Chen Yu not only has the worst strength, but also his actions are particularly slow, often dragging the back of the class. Over time, students became increasingly hostile towards Chen Yu. Chen Yu naturally wanted to strive to integrate into the collective. But with limited talent and a dull personality, he gradually becomes introverted. Eventually becoming the crane tail that everyone in the senior high school class despised. No matter what world it is, there are always underperforming students. In the world of high martial arts, the harm to underperforming students is particularly cruel. Hiss. Covering his swollen forehead, Chen Yu caught fire. Did he dig up the ancestral tomb of the homeroom teacher's house? Are you so ruthless? But then I realized that this is a high martial earth, and the homeroom teacher is also a cultivator. Chen Yu had to suppress his anger and activate his internal energy according to his memory in his mind. Curse effect activated. Cause and effect reversal of state. In cultivation. Strength Chi. 1, in cultivation. Strength Chi. 1, Chen Yu. In cultivation. Strength Chi. 1, in cultivation. Strength Chi. 2. I am indeed cursed. Is it okay to reduce strength through cultivation? Chen Yu's mentality collapsed, he just lay down with Guyu and collapsed on the seat. The more one cultivates, the weaker they become. So, is he still making a fuss? Chen Yu. The homeroom teacher saw Chen Yu's sitting posture and threw a chalk at him. Give me practice. When? The chalk head, mixed with the anger of the homeroom teacher, hit Chen Yu on the forehead. Damage taken. Qi and blood +2, Chen Yu. Sigh. With a heavy sigh, Chen Yu said in despair, Teacher, forget about me, I'm useless. You. Rotten wood cannot be carved. Waste. What a waste. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +1, the classmates around also cast hateful gazes once again. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +3, Chen Yu. This deep well ice. So, he broke the jar and took out the sauce-flavored melon seeds from the table, and started eating them as if no one was around. When life doesn't give way, then find a comfortable position and wait to die. At least you can still enjoy it, eating. Hunger +1, eating. Hunger +2. Chen Yu. Shit. Obviously, his life not only doesn't give him a way to survive, but also doesn't want him to feel comfortable. Chen Yu. Get out of here. The homeroom teacher couldn't bear it anymore and said, Go to the hallway to punish the station. You're not allowed to come back for a day. Being kicked out of the classroom, Chen Yu leaned against the wall, feeling unwilling. Activate the internal energy again for cultivation. In cultivation. Strength Chi. 1, mad, I still don't believe it. Looking back at the teachers and students in the teaching room, Chen Yu lowered his body and secretly slipped out of the teaching building. Come to the school playground, find a horizontal bar, take a deep breath, raise your hand, grab the bar, and do a pull-up exercise. Even if you can't practice anymore. Exercising your body won't make you a useless person, right? In fitness. Obesity +1, weakness +1, physique 1, strength 1, endurance 1. Chen Yu. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +2, what a sin. Chen Yu's legs softened and he lay down on the ground. Very angry. He is very angry. I was even so angry that I started singing, "Fate, why is it tormenting me like this?" Dot. 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 Lazy. Strength +1. Ha. Upon hearing the electronic sound in his ear, Chen Yuming stood up. This curse. Does it seem like there is a bug? End of this chapter. Chapter 2. This curse is great, seeking a monthly pass. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. This curse is great, seeking a monthly pass, lazy. Strength +1, standing up with a bewildered expression, Chen Yu felt the cyclone inside his lower body. That's right. It seems to have increased some energy. Dot. This curse seems to have a bug. After hesitating for a while, he raised his hands and re-grasped the horizontal bar, doing a pull-up. In fitness. Obesity +1, weakness +2, physique .1, strength .1, endurance .1. A flash of light flashed in his eyes, and Chen Yu suddenly let go. Under the drag of gravity, he immediately fell and landed heavily on the muddy ground. Bang! Damage taken. Qi and blood +7, health +1. Chen Yu's breathing began to slow and rapid due to excitement. He climbed up regardless of the pain, patted the soil, and stood foolishly leaning against the horizontal bar. More than 10 minutes later. Lazy. Strength +1, bully. It's really possible. Confirming that the cyclone in his body had grown again, Chen Yu's excited face turned red. Without hesitation, he aimed a punch at his dantian. Dong. Qi C damage. Strength +2, ha 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 hiccup. Chen Yu was so excited that he hiccuped. This so-called curse has such a big bug. All states reversed. So, when the negative state is reversed, it becomes a positive state, right? Someone was stabbed with a knife, and even if they didn't die, they were seriously injured. If he had been stabbed, the more he was stabbed, the more energetic he became. Hey, if someone doesn't practice for a year, they will be ruined. He has been lazy for a year and will only become stronger and stronger. Can this also overturn? It's too addictive. Chen Yu was overjoyed and gave himself another punch from dantian. Dong. Qi C damage. Strength +2, comfortable. Cool. Dantian Qi high is the foundation of a warrior's strength. Any slight turbulence may lead to the collapse of the gathered energy. But if it were him, it would be completely the opposite. The more turbulent it is, the faster its momentum grows. Dong. Qi C damage. Strength +2, dong. Qi high is damaged. Strength +2. Just as he was practicing vigorously, a figure suddenly appeared and grabbed his fist. Chen Yu looked up in shock and found out it was the homeroom teacher. Class teacher. Dot. Chen Yu. Dot. Class teacher. Dot. Chen Yu. Dot. Why do you torture yourself? The homeroom teacher's eyes were complex. With this ruthlessness, can't you focus on cultivation? I'm just practicing. Let's go, come with me into the house. Grasping Chen Yu's wrist, the homeroom teacher dragged him into the teaching building and pushed him into the homeroom teacher's office. Bang! The door was tightly closed, and the homeroom teacher said expressionlessly, "Sit down and have a good chat." "Teacher, you may have misunderstood. Shut up and listen to me." "Okay, you say it." Sitting on the chair, Chen Yu rubbed his painful abdomen and began to think about other ways of cultivation. Self-destructive practice is not advisable. After all, if you hit yourself, the pain may seem a bit abnormal to outsiders inside the room. The homeroom teacher walked slowly twice with her hands on her back, sorted out the words in her mind, and said, "Chen Yu, in terms of martial arts, there is indeed a difference in talent between people. It is a fact that your talent is not good. However, talent cannot be completely equated with strength. Do you understand? I understand. You're right. Then I'll leave first. Come back. The homeroom teacher frowned and said, I know you're feeling frustrated. But can this solve the problem? Your current problem is not talent. It's your personality. You're too lazy, not studying or practicing seriously. There's someone who's not as talented as you, and there's also someone in the class. How come they? Is there anything less talented than me? Which one? Chen Yu suddenly interjected, well, I'm just purely curious. Of course there is. Just talk about that. The homeroom teacher fell into contemplation. Chen Yu. Dot. Class teacher. Dot. Chen Yu. Goodbye, teacher. Come back. The homeroom teacher exclaimed angrily, are we discussing talent? It's hard work. If you don't work hard, what's the use of having good talent? Dot. Chen Yu buttoned his ear hole. If we add in the age before the crossing, he might be even older than this homeroom teacher. Can a mere mouthpiece fool him? Dot. Sigh. After a moment of silence, the homeroom teacher patted Chen Yu's shoulder and said, to be honest, I used to quite dislike you as a student. But your actions on the playground just now had a big impact on me. I can see that you also want to learn well, so as the homeroom teacher, I have an obligation to help you. Chen Yu was taken aback and vaguely felt something was wrong. Starting from the next class, you will be transferred to the first row. I will keep an eye on you on point 1, and you must improve your strength. Chen Yu. Dot. Put that self-harm into practice, the homeroom teacher said with a serious expression. On the school side, I will help you apply for accommodation. Stay in my room every day. Dot. There are still 33 days left for the college entrance examination. Apart from sleeping, I exercise every day. I'm not afraid of fatigue. Big brother, please don't make a fuss. Chen Yu panicked. The homeroom teacher stood up straight and spoke seriously, I haven't given up on you. I hope you don't give up on yourself either. Can you please let me go quickly? Let's go. The homeroom teacher pushed open the door and said, let's go to class and change your seat. Chen Yu found that the homeroom teacher was serious. The first thing I did when I followed the other person back to the class was to move them to the first row. Under the podium, under the teacher's nose. Sit down. The homeroom teacher supported the podium with both hands and looked at Chen Yu. Well, I still have to go to the penalty station. Chen Yu suggested, let's start from tomorrow. Sit down. Didn't you say that I was punished for standing and not allowed to come back for a day? I'll let you sit down and practice now. Do you listen or not? The homeroom teacher pushed the mirror frame and said, don't disturb other students. The classmates around immediately cast hateful gazes. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +3, Chen Yu. Dot. Okay. Chen Yu sat down, closed his eyes, and put on a posture of cultivation, pretending. Lazy. Strength +1, the composite sound echoing in his ear delighted Chen Yu, and he instinctively opened one eye to see the homeroom teacher staring at him without blinking. Are you and I fooling ghosts here? The homeroom teacher picked up the whip and said, you don't even have the energy to gather. Pop. As the words fell, a foot fell on Chen Yu's shoulder. Damage taken. Qi and blood +1, Chen Yu. Dot. Practice. Damn it. Muttering profanity in his mouth, Chen Yu could only mobilize his energy and circulate within his body. In cultivation. Strength Qi.1, Chen Yu. Dot. The homeroom teacher nodded in satisfaction, not bad. Not a bad der. Shut up. Practice. The homeroom teacher shouted loudly. In cultivation. Strength chi .1, yes. Hold on, don't stop. In cultivation. Vigorous chi .2, everyone said don't stop. Pop. Damage taken. Chi and blood +2, dot. Continue. Gather energy. In cultivation. Strength chi .1, class teacher. Great, that's it. You'll become stronger. Chen Yu said, if I believe you, there will be ghosts. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Murder. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Murder. The upside-down practice continued until the bell rang after class, and Chen Yu finally breathed a sigh of relief. Feeling the sea of qi within the dantian, he was very pleased. Thank you to the school leaders and the class teacher. He should be able to squat down to junior high school. Why did it stop? The homeroom teacher lay on the desk, staring at Chen Yu. Ah. Chen Yu looked around at the classmates who had left in groups of 3 or 2 and was surprised. Class is over now. It's all over now. They have the conditions and capital for dismissal. Do you have them? Chen Yu. Dot. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +1, you're not allowed to go anywhere, continue practicing. Can you spare me? I'm trying to save you. The homeroom teacher resentfully said, you can even self-harm now. Practicing is still difficult for you. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +1, after a moment of silence, Chen Yu stood up and said, okay, I'll listen to you. But now I want to go to the bathroom. Can't hold it anymore. Well, I can't hold it anymore. Okay. The homeroom teacher also stood up and said, I'll go with you. Chen Yu. Dot. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +3, let's go. What are you waiting for? Aren't you unable to hold back? Chen Yu. Dot. Class teacher. Actually, I can't hold back anymore. But I'm afraid that as soon as I leave, you'll disappear, so I've been holding back. I didn't expect you to go to the bathroom too, Objectively speaking, you're quite understanding. Chen Yu. Dot. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +5, squatting in the bathroom compartment, Chen Yu fell into contemplation. It is obvious that this will not work. He has been cursed and cannot practice in the normal way. Only diligent laziness can progress. If you continue to stay in the hands of that homeroom teacher, you will be taught to be useless. I cannot argue with others and explain my uniqueness. No one believes it even if they say it. If someone believes it, it may cause trouble to stick it on. We still need to escape. It's okay not to attend this school. With this thought in mind, Chen Yu put on his pants, but after thinking for a moment, he took them off again and took out a tissue to wipe his buttocks clean before putting them back on. Wow! Flushing the large room clean, he opened the door and ran out of the bathroom. Stuttering in his footsteps, the homeroom teacher actually stood guard in front of the toilet door. Class teacher. Have you finished attending? Chen Yu. Have you finished? Class teacher. It's over. Have you finished attending? Chen Yu. I haven't started yet. Class teacher. Fart. I heard the sound of water pumping. Chen Yu. Yes, I just farted and thought it was over. Now I realize that the hard stuff hasn't come out yet. As he spoke, Chen Yu's face turned black as he walked back to the bathroom and squatted into the compartment again. What a sin. The homeroom teacher also walked in and leaned against the small door in the compartment, saying, wait for you. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +4, sigh. In the compartment, Chen Yu looked up and let out a deep sigh, but coincidentally saw the ventilation fan and his eyes lit up. Quickly getting up, he leaned in front of the door and listened to the commotion outside. He stood on the toilet, gently unplugging the power supply of the ventilation fan and pushing it hard. Click. Dong. The ventilation fan was pushed out. Expose a large hole. It should be able to accommodate him to escape. Before Chen Yu could start climbing, a face appeared outside the big hole. The face of the homeroom teacher. Chen Yu. The homeroom teacher remained expressionless and said, "What are you doing?" I think it's not ventilated enough. If you damage the campus facilities, please take a note and come with me to the teaching office to calculate compensation. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +2, teacher, I think we should talk about it. After paying the fine and walking out of the teaching office, Chen Yu spoke with a serious expression on his face. The homeroom teacher glanced at Chen Yu and said, "Let go. Don't you usually ignore me? I want to manage now. If there are good students in this world, there will always be poor students. You can't cover everything. But I can't make you worse either." Chen Yu had a headache and said, "It's better not to worry about me. Giving me freedom is the right thing. I'm already useless, let me be on my own." Upon hearing this, the homeroom teacher stopped in her tracks. "What's wrong?" Chen Yu also instinctively stopped. "You are a student, not a teacher." The homeroom teacher looked at Chen Yu in a calm tone and said, "You can never imagine how a student who harms themselves in front of a teacher due to academic performance issues would have an impact on their teacher." Chen Yu's head hurt even more. At that time, I suddenly felt guilty about my position as a teacher. The homeroom teacher's eyes were complex, and he said, "So, I must teach you well. You can't slack off for a moment. You will thank me in the future." Chen Yu. "Then I really thank you." Class teacher. There are still 33 days left until the college entrance examination. During this month, besides sleeping, I have to practice every moment. Although I can't get into college, how can I still get into college? Chen Yu said, "Don't worry, with just your teaching, it won't be easy to get back to junior high school." Class teacher. If you can't even pass the college entrance exam, as a teacher, at least I have a clear conscience. Chen Yu. It's really hard to find a teacher like you who is so disrespectful now. The head teacher did not know Chen Yu's roast at all, but still said to himself, "Tomorrow you will move to my dormitory and teach you hand in hand. Go back and talk to your parents. My mom must be different. If you don't agree, I'll visit your house. If that's not possible, I'll move in." Psychological damage. Spirit +5, Qingqing No. 2 Middle School, 7 p.m. The school bell rang. Chen Yu seemed to collapse on the seat, his mentality approaching collapse. After nearly a day of hard work, he successfully reduced his strength to the level of a week ago. That's really good. The homeroom teacher was pleased and said, "No matter how poor your talent is, if you work hard like this, even if you don't get into college, there is still hope for repeating next year." Chen Yu. Psychological damage. Mental +4, today, his hard work was noticed by many classmates, who didn't say anything but their hostility on their faces faded a lot. As a role model, the female class monitor stopped by Chen Yu's side before leaving the classroom and gave a thumbs up in front of the whole class, saying, "Heaven rewards diligence, continue." Encouraged. Spirit .2, Confidence .1, Luck .1, Chen Yu. Papa. The homeroom teacher smiled and took the lead in applauding. La 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 la. The class suddenly burst into applause, which was not sparse. Encouraged. Spirit .4, Confidence .2, Luck .1, Charism .1, Chen Yu. What a sin. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Sao Operations. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Sao Operations Night, the brightly lit city of Qingqing. Chen Yu walked home with a worried expression on his face. After crossing over, his life was about to start when he faced a big enemy. The homeroom teacher. How about dropping out of school? Lowering his head, Chen Yu racked his brains to think of countermeasures. In his current situation, whether or not he goes to school is really meaningless. Lazy at home playing games for 2 years, watching movies for 2 years, chasing dramas for 3 years, reading novels for 3 years. Once you pass the level, you almost become a big shot. But it seems unrealistic to have the family take care of it for so many years. Stopping, Chen Yu picked up a small stone and pondered while writing and drawing on the road. Let me calculate. My physical talent is very poor, and when I practice for a day, I can only increase my energy by 1 drop. Now my soul has penetrated and I am cursed. Practicing will only reduce my strength. However, due to my poor talent, it will not decrease too much. So, if there are still 30.2 days left and I maintain today's cultivation intensity, my cultivation will be the highest. At most, go back to the level of just entering high school. Standing up, throwing away the small stone, Chen Yu clapped his hands and said, "It doesn't seem like it's too bad either. Just find a way to replenish the energy that cultivation lacks." As a student, learning is not easy, isn't it easy to fall into depravity? With this in mind, Chen Yu took out his phone and quickly typed on the web search bar. How to reduce a warrior's cultivation. Click search. Rows of information appear. Turn it off. Turn off these online games, only then can warriors have a better tomorrow. The latest research confirms that warriors who enjoy Piaochang experience a faster decline in cultivation. A warrior does not need love, Ma Wushan. I don't like energy, I've never even touched it. I just don't know why it's getting more and more. The thing I regret the most in my life is becoming a warrior. The search results are diverse. Excluding those advertisements and sand sculpture news, Chen Yu quickly found the answer. How to reduce a warrior's cultivation. Poison. Color. Smoke. 1. Poison. Targeted damage to the gas C is the most effective poison. Severely poisoned warriors can even return to pre-liberation status with just 1 move and become ordinary people. But this kind of thing belongs to quite serious, prohibited items, not to mention selling it. Hiding it is a serious crime of beheading. Human civilization is on the brink of danger now, and in times of chaos, there is a heavy code. No one would doubt the severity of the official department. The institutions that dare to study this poison are almost wiped out one by one. 2. Color. Regardless of gender, martial artists who are addicted to it will inexplicably regress their cultivation. The reason is still unknown. There is a hormone hypothesis within the scientific community, the hypothesis of energy exchange, the hypothesis of human non-evolutionary genetics, and so on. Usually, the deeper one becomes addicted, the faster the sea of qi dissipates. This once caused a wave of fear of marriage among the martial arts community. Until the official announcement, the impact of normal male-female interaction was minimal. This is the only way to avoid the extinction of martial artists. 3. Smoke. The carbon monoxide alkaloids and heavy metal elements in cigarettes can slightly affect the operation and aggregation of energy. It is currently the main culprit for the decline of martial arts cultivation in society. However, due to the fact that most martial artists need to take risks and eat decapitated meals, their mental stress is extremely high, requiring effective placebos such as cigarettes and alcohol. The official cannot prohibit it, and can only continuously increase taxes, restrict sales, and raise the purchase threshold. Among the above 3 cultivation methods, Chen Yuming does not speak in secret and prefers the second one, but obviously not realistic. At present, we can only choose the last option. Cigarettes. Put away your phone, take out your wallet, and open it. There is only 100 yuan bill inside, 3 10-yuan bills, 1 5-yuan bill, and a few steel coins. It should be enough to buy cigarettes. Looking around, he found a small supermarket and walked in. "What would you like?" a waiter asked. "Smoke." Chen Yu took out a 100 yuan bill and said, "Give me a pack of cigarettes." "Smoke." The waiter was taken aback and then looked at Chen Yu with a strange look. How could it be possible to sell cigarettes here? Oh. Yes. Chen Yu slapped his forehead. He has just traveled and his memory fusion is not complete. I forgot that cigarettes are tube products and are only sold in special cigarette stores. Any store outside that dares to sell cigarettes without a license is a serious crime. Exit the supermarket. Chen Yu clicks on the map navigation on his phone. Welcome to use the evil map, continue to guide you blindly. Please state the location you want to reach, cigarette shops. The nearest cigarette store is 0.3 kilometers away from you. Is there a navigation system? Yes. Evil map, guiding you to the blind. Walk 65 meters ahead, turn right at the intersection. Under the navigation, shortly after, Chen Yu arrived at a cigarette specialty store. The shop window was polished shiny. 2 layers. There is only one female boss in the store. You can clearly see the boxes of cigarettes placed inside the counter. After putting away his phone, Chen Yu tidied up his school uniform and pushed the door in, saying, "Boss, buy a pack of cigarettes." "Not for sale." The female boss didn't even lift her eyelids. Chen Yu. You are a student, practice martial arts well, what are you smoking? The female boss looked up and looked at Chen Yu expressionlessly. I'll buy it for my dad. Then let your father come in person with his ID card. My dad is injured and in the hospital, his legs and feet are not convenient. Are you still smoking after being injured? Let him take more oxygen. Can we discuss it? Can I give you more money? Rolling. Being kicked out of the store made Chen Yu very unhappy. So he bought a red spider cannon, Road 2, aimed at the second floor of the cigarette store, and threw it over. Bang! Bang! 2 explosions startled the landlady and she quickly ran up to the second floor to check the situation. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Chen Yu decisively entered the house, threw down 10 yuan, took a bag of red pagoda mountain, and ran away. Hiding in the corner, pulling out a cigarette and holding it in your mouth, setting off firecrackers, and igniting cigarette butts with flames, hey! Hiss! Bang! The firecrackers exploded in my hand. Damage taken. Qi and blood plus 16, huh? Invaded by malignant gas. Vigorous Qi plus 12 ward Tian. Upon hearing the electronic synthesis sound echoing in his ear, Chen Yu was surprised and immediately overjoyed. Invaded by malignant gas. Vigorous Qi plus 16, huh? Invaded by malignant gas. Vigorous Qi plus 13, ha ha ha. Hiss. Invaded by malignant gas. Vigorous Qi plus 14, bully. Invaded by malignant gas. Strength plus 15, Nyobi, you're lying on the trough. Invaded by malignant gas. Strength. The flow of energy is endless. It seems that every bone, every drop of blood, every cell is full of power. This growth rate. Chen Yu closed his eyes and said, tomorrow in class, at least it's not the end of the crane. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Give him a pocket. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Give him a pocket. For a long time, Chen Yu slowly calmed down the pleasure of his surging strength. Looking down at the red pagoda mountain in his hand, he seemed to see a grand road leading to the martial god. Without hesitation, Chen Yu opened his cigarette box again. This time, he pulled out 3 cigarettes at once, held them in his mouth, and ignited them with a cannon. Hiss. 3 red dots light up and then dim. Thick smoke was sucked into Chen Yu's lungs. Invaded by malignant gas. Vigorous Qi plus 34, invaded by malignant gases. Lung health +1, physical health +1, constitution +1, immunity +1, huh. A large cloud of smoke slowly drifted away, and Chen Yu couldn't help but shiver. A large amount of energy gathered in the dantian, making him almost ecstatic to the bone. Then, he opened a cigarette pack again and pulled out 2 more cigarettes to light, all stuffed into his mouth. Hiss. Call out. Invaded by malignant gas. Vigorous Chi +47, invaded by malignant gas. Constitution +1, immunity +1, lifespan +1. At this moment, an old man walking through the alley was shocked to see Chen Yu's crazy suction method. The young man lying in bed. Isn't this risking your life? Sleeping in bed. After smoking 5 cigarettes, flicked the cigarette butts. Chen Yu leaned against the wall, closed his eyes, and let out a satisfied hiccup. He dares to bet. In just 2 minutes of smoking, the growth of energy was unmatched by the world's most amazing genius. On average, 1 cigarette can boost energy by 150+. If I could smoke continuously for 24 hours. Opening his eyes, Chen Yu regretfully licked his lips and put the remaining cigarettes and firecrackers into his backpack. Walk towards the direction of going home. He has already smoked 6 cigarettes. I have a general understanding of the energy that each cigarette can increase. A red pagoda mountain is worth 10 days of hard work. A box of Hongta mountain, containing 20 cigarettes, all smoked, this is just over half a year of skill. Chen Yu sighed. By the time this box of cigarettes is finished, his strength will at least be in the middle and lower reaches. Converted to the standard warrior level, it should be a level 0.3 warrior. At the same time, Yushu Street Police Station. The female owner of the cigarette store stormed into the door and said, "Where's the person on duty? Call the police." "I want to call the police." "Madam, please calm down." A police officer walked over and looked up and down at the female boss, saying seriously, "What happened?" "My cigarette in the store was stolen." The cigarette was stolen. The police officer's spirit trembled. Cigarettes are quite valuable luxury goods. There is no small amount for theft. How much has been stolen? A box. One box. Yes, a box of Red Pagoda Mountain. The female boss trembled with anger. "I just lost a box of cigarettes, and if I lost it, I would lose it. But that thief, he provoked me." "How was it provoked?" "He left me money." The police officer's expression was strange. "That should be considered buying, not stealing, right? A Red Pagoda Mountain worth 1,680 yuan. He threw me 10 yuan. Isn't this considered stealing? Isn't this a provocation?" Police officer. "I have surveillance footage. We must catch him. Give him a big picture. With surveillance, it's easy to handle." "Madam, please calm down first." When Chen Yu returned home, the food has already been prepared. Chen's mother approached, took her backpack, frowned, and said, "Are you back so late today?" Late self-study delayed some time. After washing his hands and sitting at the dining table, Chen Yu looked around and said, "Where's my sister?" "Your sister is in a hurry and has returned to her room." "Then I'll go call her." Standing up, Chen Yu walked out of the kitchen and pushed open a bedroom. I saw a graceful young girl lying on her back in bed, with a delicate white foot raised and only half of her short white socks taken off, swaying back and forth. Chen Yu. Chen Siwen turned her head and said, "What are you looking at? If you don't speak up, I think you're pretty." "What's wrong with speaking?" Chen Yu covered his forehead and said, "When did you learn northeastern dialect?" Chen Siwen sat up, put on socks, and gathered her long hair. "Yesterday, a new colleague from northeast China came," she said. "Chen Yu. Did you learn today?" Chen Siwen said, Chen Yu. Eat. Chen Siwen. Zidao. Dot. Psychological damage. Spirit +1, take Chen Siwen into the kitchen and sit at the dining table. Chen Yu inexplicably breathed a sigh of relief. Before entering the house, he was still afraid. Afraid of crossing over, the original mother and sister changed people. Fortunately, it's just that the social background has changed, nothing else has changed. Hurry up and eat, the dishes are getting cold soon. Chen's mother picked up a piece of pork ribs and placed it in Chen Yu's bowl. Sister, you eat too. Chen Yu picked up a piece of garlic and put it in Chen Siwen's bowl. Brother, you eat first to supplement your nutrition. Chen Siwen picked up a napkin and placed it in Chen Yu's bowl. You should eat it first. Chen Yu picked up a tube of mustard. You eat first. Chen Siwen picked up a lighter. Chen Yu stood up and directly picked up a pot, about to smash it onto Chen Siwen's bowl. Chen Siwen also refused to be outdone and raised her stool. Bang. Chen's mother patted the table and said, have a good meal. After a series of battles, Chen Yu regained the feeling of home. Sure enough. Everything hasn't changed. Chen Yu picked up the rice and chewed it in his mouth, letting the fragrance spread between his lips and teeth. Then swallow it with satisfaction. Eating. Hunger +5, Constitution .1, Health .1. Chen Yu. It has changed. Pain, I wrote it first, and the reviewers deleted it later. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. This is my dear sister. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. This is my dear sister. Wow. Pushing the bowl, Chen Yu and Guyu collapsed on the dining chair and said, I won't eat anymore. That's great. Chen Siwen beside her immediately picked up the pork ribs that Chen Yu had not yet eaten from her bowl and licked them with her pink little tongue. I licked them, mine. Chen Yu. Dot. Psychological damage. Mental +4, don't make a fuss. Chen's mother knocked on her chopsticks in dissatisfaction, then looked at Chen Yu and said, the food doesn't fit well. No, Chen Yu turned his head and looked at the night outside the window, feeling helpless. I suddenly realized that I'm not hungry at all. Did you eat it yourself at school? No, it's just not hungry. Chen's mother hesitated and asked, do you have something on your mind? There must be something on my mind, Chen Siwen said casually as she sucked on the oil stains on her fingertips. With only 1 month left in the college entrance examination and his outstanding skills in the primary school tutoring class, it's normal for him to not be able to eat. Chen Yu. Dot. Psychological damage. Spirit +1, Chen Siwen said, after all, the college entrance examination requires going to the arena, and it's quite embarrassing to be knocked over with a punch in public. Starting from now on, we may be able to go on a hunger strike and be hospitalized early. Psychological damage. Spirit +3, Chen Siwen. And I heard that many animals lose their appetite before they die. Psychological damage. Spirit +5, Chen Siwen. Remember, younger brother, the college entrance examination is not the only way out. When you enter society and get caught by the police, be honest. Psychological damage. Mental +7, Chen Siwen said, but I still advise you to eat more. You should eat a fair and chubby food, and it doesn't hurt to be beaten in the arena. Psychological damage. Spirit +3, Chen Siwen said, the key is that when your opponent hits you, their fists don't hurt either. If the stepping stone is too hard, it will attract people to respond. Psychological damage. Mental +11, Chen's mother couldn't help but say, Chen Siwen. Please shut up. Chen Siwen nodded and said, Dot. Chen Yu panted heavily through his nostrils, let her say it. She is my powerful motivation. Stop talking, there's no more words. Chen Siwen waved her hand, swallowed a bite of meat, chewed it, and took out a gift box from under the table, handing it out. Here you are. What is this? A small gift for you. Yo ho. Will you still give me a gift? Chen Yu decisively handed the gift to Chen's mother. Mom, I gave it to you. Chen's mother said. My son is truly filial. Chen Yu. Of course. By the way, be careful when you dismantle it, it might be a cloud explosion bomb. Chen Siwen rolled her eyes and said, kindness is like a donkey's liver and lungs. Don't think about your sister like that, Chen's mother educated, no matter how bad it is, we can't send you a bomb. Chen Yu said, that's true. At most, it's a grenade. Chen's mother said, a grenade still relies on some notation. Chen Siwen. Chen Siwen's gift was ultimately opened by Chen Yu. Inside is a fist-sized wooden box. Opening the lid of the box, you can see 5 round brown pills. Next to the pill, there is also a folded instruction manual. Is this Qi boosting pill? Chen's mother was shocked. Siwen, where did you get the money to buy this? Accumulated. Chen Siwen waved her hand nonchalantly like a tycoon, picked up another piece of pork ribs, and put it in her mouth, blurring, take one every 2 days, absorb it well. Chen Yu was also surprised. Through memory, he learned that a basic qi boosting pill would never be sold for less than 20,000 yuan. These 5 qi boosting pills cost at least 100,000 yuan or more. After failing the college entrance examination, Chen Siwen only worked as a female worker in a small factory with a monthly salary of over 3,000 yuan. How could she be so wealthy? Sister. Chen Yu remained silent for a long time, his face serious as he covered it with a wooden lid. Did you betray your own identity? Bang. Chen Siwen's cheeks flushed as she slammed a chopstick on Chen Yu's forehead and said, shut up. Don't talk nonsense. How can you afford to buy qi boosting pills? Deposit, plus installment. Is there a problem? This thing is too expensive, Chen Yu shook his head. Let's return it. I can't retreat. Chen Siwen raised her eyebrows and said, I bought it for you, and you'll eat well. At least on the college entrance examination arena, you can get a few more punches to warm up your opponents. Chen Yu. The emotions that had surged in his heart suddenly subsided. Siwen, are you frugal just to buy this? Chen's mother had a complicated look in her eyes. You know, with your brother's grades, eating 10 more pills won't get you into college. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +2, Chen Yu. Our mother is right. At least, let my younger brother have some self-protection power, right? Chen Siwen gently rolled her hair and said, don't be like me. This sentence fell, and the room immediately became dull. 2 years ago, Chen Siwen was targeted and shattered in the college entrance examination arena, becoming the lowest level ordinary person. And left behind serious sequelae. Chen Siwen took the gift box containing the qi boosting pill, took out a pill, and handed it to Chen Yu, saying, take it. No, I'll take it back. I can't refund it. I bought it in installments at a physical store, and the refund will be accompanied by 25% of the money. Can we also sell it to others? If you don't eat, I'll throw it away. Chen Siwen got angry. On the side, Chen's mother sighed and said, Xiaoyu, your sister's intention is to buy everything, just eat it. Anyway, you won't be able to get into college, so be a dead horse and live horse doctor. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +3, can you not talk about the university? You can't even get into college. Received psychological damage. Mental +6, Chen Yu took the pill expressionlessly and stood up, then give it to me. I'll find time to take it. Are you trying to find time to sell it? Chen Siwen saw through Chen Yu's plan at a glance. You're my younger brother, and I know even when you pout your butt. Forget it, don't say anything. Do you think it's not good to take this money to see a doctor for yourself? Hurry up and eat, don't forget about it. I can't die from this illness, but you don't necessarily have to go to the arena. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +2, under Chen Siwen's coercion, Chen Yu had no choice but to grit his head and stuff the pill into his mouth. Gulu. The pill melts at the entrance. Instantly transformed into surging heat streams, swirling around the body for several times before merging into the sea of Dantian Qi. Stimulated by medicine. Strength .366, Constitution .4, Endurance .2. Chen Yu. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +6, Chen Siwen's face suddenly showed satisfaction and satisfaction. Chen Yu is her only younger brother. She is also her closest relative. If it's not good for him, who else can it be good for? Thinking about it, she put away the remaining pills and said, "There are 4 more. To prevent you from selling them, I'll keep them all with me. I'll take one every 2 days in the future. If I run out of them, my sister will buy them for you." Upon hearing this, Chen Yu almost shed tears of emotion at the corner of his eyes. You're really my sister. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Sorry, I'm dead, seeking monthly pass. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Sorry, I'm dead, seeking monthly pass, you're really my sister. That's not right. Chen Siwen raised her chin and said, who made me the younger brother's control? You're a little brother. Chen Yu is sad and desolate. Just this pill, at least 2 red pagoda mountain white have been smoked, sister, even if you have money in the future, don't buy these things for me anymore. Chen Siwen tilted her eyes and said, have you given up on yourself? Chen Yu. I want to take the college entrance exam based on my own strength. Chen Siwen. Do you still have the strength? Suffering psychological damage. Mental +2, Chen Yu. Continue. Chen Siwen said, which university has gone bankrupt and I can see you. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +1, Chen Yu. Continue. Chen Siwen. It's gone. Chen Yu immediately sneered, are Qian LV's skills at a disadvantage? Is that all you have? Taking up the bowl, Chen Siwen continued to eat while chewing, saying, wait a few more days, let me think of some nonsense. Waiting for a few days is impossible. Chen Yu took a glass of water and rinsed the medicine in his mouth, pretending to be regretful. I won't be able to go home for the next month. Upon hearing this, Chen Siwen's movements froze. Chen's mother on the side quickly asked, why? I know you don't want to leave me. I don't want to leave you either. But the homeroom teacher asked me to stay in his dormitory for the next month to practice. So. That means I can't see you for a month anymore. Chen Siwen put down her dishes in a daze. That's right. Chen Yu nodded repeatedly. How about you give my homeroom teacher a call and refuse this matter? I can't see you for a month. That's a good thing. Chen Siwen's eyes sparkled. Why refuse? Mom. Give me another bowl of rice. Chen Yu. Suffering psychological damage. Mental +5, Chen's mother took the bowl and glared fiercely at Chen Siwen, then looked at Chen Yu and said, Xiao Yu, you haven't spent the night outside since you were young. Mom must talk to your homeroom teacher about this and give him a call. Damn it. Chen Yu was overjoyed and immediately took out his phone, calling the homeroom teacher's number. Mom still values emotions, and my little sister is giving it away. Taking the phone and placing it in her ear, Chen's mother looked serious and waited for the other end of the phone to connect. Do. Hello, who is there? I am Chen Yu's mother. Chen's mother's tone slowly increased. Oh, hello. The voice of the homeroom teacher came from the receiver. My family's Chen Yu said that he will be staying in your dormitory in the future. Yes. Chen Yu is very ambitious and also wants to learn well. I plan to provide 1.1 tutoring to him. Chen Yu clenched his fist and whispered, refuse him. Refuse him. Refuse him. Well. Chen's mother straightened her chest and held her phone in both hands, bowing slightly. Thank you, teacher. Chen Yu. Chen's mother said, my child is stupid, you have to worry. If he doesn't study hard, you can hit him hard. Chen Yu. Chen's mother said, let's pack his luggage tonight. Well, don't worry, his bedroom will be dismantled tomorrow, so he can rest assured to study at your place. Chen Yu. Chen's mother said, you care so much about my family, Chen Yu. As parents, how can we not cooperate? Thank you so much. Chen Yu. Chen Siwen said, the red and fiery flames roar in a daze, cough, cough. Psychological damage. Mental +8, with a stern face, Chen Yuqing returned to the bedroom, took off his coat, and lay motionless in a 2 shape on the bed. It's so difficult for me. This one. It's okay not to wait. Lazy. Strength +1, laziness. Strength +2, health +1, lazy. Strength +1. I don't know how long it has been. Chen Yu, who was about to fall asleep in such a daze, suddenly sat up and covered his bulging stomach. I haven't eaten for a day. I can't bear it anymore. Leaving the bedroom and entering the kitchen, Chen Yu grabbed a piece of cold pork ribs and wolfed them down. Eating. Hunger +6, eating. Hunger +9, gulu. After swallowing another cold meal, Chen Yu lamented, oh my god. At this moment, Chen's mother in the master bedroom heard the commotion and walked out in a daze, yawning, Xiao Yu. What are you doing? Eating. Let you skip dinner tonight, hungry. No, I'm too full. A few minutes later. Chen Yu, who had eaten a plate of pork ribs and 2 bowls of rice, finally felt hungry. After tidying up the dishes and covering his hungry stomach, he returned to the bedroom and lit a cigarette expressionlessly. Hiss. Invaded by malignant gas. Vigorous Qi +14, invaded by malignant gas. Lung health +1, constitution +1, immunity +1, Sigh. After smoking a cigarette, Chen Yu directly chewed his cigarette butt. Eating toxins. Qi +52, stomach health +4, physical health +3, constitution +3, kidney health +5. Chen Yu. Psychological damage. Spirit +1, psychological healing. Spiritual .1, at this moment, he didn't know whether he should be happy or sad without any sleep. Chen Yu silently took out the Switch host from the drawer and played with the Animal Crossing. Perhaps only the world in the game is normal, lazy. Strength +1, staying up late. Fatigue .1, health +1, immunity +1, cardiovascular function +1. Playing until early in the morning, he twisted open another bottle of cola and started browsing Bilibili. Lazy. Strength +2, drinking unknown liquid. Bone strength +1, health +1, scrawling at Station B, we reached the dance area, where we found many anime little sisters. Then, naturally, we opened the UC browser. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. This is outrageous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. This is outrageous. The next day. After breakfast, Chen and his sister walked out of the house together. Chen Yu is carrying a backpack. Chen Siwen is carrying her luggage. No word spoken. Until it was close to the school gate, Chen Siwen handed her luggage to Chen Yu and took the lead in saying, the teacher's dormitory is not as smart as her own home. Be careful of hygiene. Don't be annoying. After picking up his luggage, Chen Yu lowered his head and walked into the school. Wait a moment. What else is there? Chen Siwen hesitated and tried to plan the wording in her mind. Well. First of all, I didn't mean to mock you. Chen Yu. Chen Siwen. But. Last night I heard some unusual sounds. Chen Yu. With luggage in his left hand and schoolbag in his right, Chen Yu could not help but blush. Chen Siwen also felt her cheeks burning. As an older sister and younger brother, one must pay attention to their physical and mental health. So, she gritted her scalp and said, but. There is always a limit to everything, and excessive use can cause great harm to the body. Speaking of which, Chen Siwen glanced at Chen Yu's spirited and energetic expression and paused, even if it doesn't have much impact now, over time, my body can't take it, right? Chen Yu. In short, you have grown up too. You can understand what sister wants to say, so don't be verbose. Taking a step back, Chen Siwen waved and said, go to school. If you don't have enough money, ask sister for it. I'll bring you the chi-boosting pill the day after tomorrow. Goodbye. Chen Yu turned around and left. Goodbye. Watching Chen Yu gradually disappear, Chen Siwen sighed and took out her phone to search. Is it normal for adolescent boys to perform small movements continuously for one night? I am increasingly realizing the terrifying aspect of this cursed. At least in the future when looking for a girlfriend, I can only choose something stronger. Walking on the way to the teacher dormitory building, Chen Yu was very worried. This is too scary. Under the reversal of the curse, I couldn't stop last night. Subconsciously shivering, Chen Yu took a deep breath, controlled his brain to eliminate those wild thoughts, and quickened his pace. Not long after, I entered the teacher dormitory building and stopped at the door of the homeroom teacher's dormitory, knocking on the door. Dong dong. Is that Chen Yu? Come in. Chen Yu pushed open the door and saw the neat room, where the homeroom teacher was sitting at a desk, grading papers. Even in high schools where martial arts are the main focus, written exams still exist. Because combat intelligence is also an important component of a person's combat power. Glancing back, the homeroom teacher kept moving and said, put the bedding under my bed. I'll make a floor for you after school tonight. Teacher. Chen Yu put down his bow and said, why don't we just forget about it? Your room is too small and it's too crowded to accommodate two people. If you don't want to live, just sleep in bed. I'll sleep underground. Look at what you're saying. Chen Yu felt a bit embarrassed and sat down on the bed. Okay, listen to you, I'll just sleep in bed. The homeroom teacher's hand shook as she held the pen. Chen Yu. Thank you. Class teacher. Standing up, the homeroom teacher turned and glanced at Chen Yu askance. Do you think you're very humorous? No, don't be angry, Chen Yu explained. I'm used to sleeping in bed and have developed this bad odor. If I don't sleep in bed, I cough. If you're not used to it, just leave. That's great. Chen Yu immediately jumped up and bowed before withdrawing. The homeroom teacher immediately reacted and became furious. Chen Yu. You dare to leave. Of course Chen Yu dares to leave. Not only does he walk, but he also dares to run. Pushing open the door, I strode my two long legs and in the blink of an eye, I slipped out for more than 10 meters. But after all, the homeroom teacher was a warrior and quickly caught up, like carrying a little chick, and brought Chen Yu back. Believe it or not, I'll hang you from the ceiling. Letter. Sleeping in bed or underground? Chen Yu sneered, since you don't want me to sleep in bed, is this unnecessary? Is it hypocritical? I'll give you free 1.1 tutoring, and it's good to let you sleep. Why are you still full of care? I don't even want to come, okay? Anyway, you ask me, I just need to sleep in bed. Do you need me to make a bed for you in the bathroom? Chen Yu was thrown down, and the homeroom teacher turned around and closed the door, pointing to the dormitory floor. Then I won't ask you. From now on, when I sleep in the bed, you make the floor. After a moment of silence, Chen Yu sighed and said, Teacher, to be honest with you, I fell asleep in the middle of the night, snoring, grinding my teeth, burping, and farting, all occupied. It's okay. The homeroom teacher waved her hand and sat down at the desk again, correcting the exam paper. I also have the problems you mentioned. Neither of us should dislike each other. Chen Yu. Class teacher. And I'm one more than you. I often sleep. Psychological damage. Spirit +3, how about you make a bed for me in the bathroom? End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Let me feel. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Let me feel. After reviewing the last test paper, the homeroom teacher took out her phone and glanced at the time. She stood up and stretched lazily. There are still 10 minutes left for class. Then, he turned his attention to Chen Yu and looked up and down carefully. Only then did he realize that your mental state seemed quite good. Chen Yu remained expressionless and said, It's okay. Did you practice at home last night? Let me check. As she spoke, the homeroom teacher approached and reached out to touch Chen Yu's lower abdomen. She silently sensed for a moment and was surprised. Why is there so much energy? I practiced all night. Damn it. Do you think you're the god of war? The homeroom teacher withdrew her hand and frowned. This kind of growth. Did you take the chi-boosting pill? I ate it. No wonder. What family are you from? The working class. How much does your family pay for you? Do you still have the heart not to practice well? Yes. A bit ambitious, get your family into a college. Okay. I don't ask you to be grateful, but at least you should be sensible. I sacrificed my personal time to tutor you on point 1, and I still have this great opportunity to seize it. Right. So, do you want to sleep on the floor now, or do you want to sleep on the bed? Sleeping in bed. A child cannot be taught. Get out. Go to class. Entering the class, sitting in his seat in the first row, Chen Yu looked around. He found that the classmates in today's class did not cast hostile glances at him. Obviously, yesterday's whitening effect was remarkable. Unfortunately, Chen Yu muttered in a low voice. Then, the homeroom teacher also walked into the classroom. First, she glared at Chen Yu, then cleared her throat and loudly said to the 49 students in the class, Good morning, classmates. Good morning, teacher. Please have a seat. 48 students in the class immediately sat down. Then, the homeroom teacher looked at Chen Yu, who had been motionless all along, and suppressed his anger, saying, Come on, you stand up. Chen Yu. Good morning, teacher. Classmates. Class teacher. The chalk head in his hand was lifted and lowered, and the homeroom teacher took a deep breath to calm his anger, ignoring Chen Yu. But instead, he looked at the students and said, Classmates, let me tell you a happy story. Chen Yu from our class. With a slight pause, the homeroom teacher pointed 5 fingers at Chen Yu and said, After a day and a night of hard practice, my energy has skyrocketed. The results are amazing. If you don't believe me, you can feel and see. A male student in the back seat suspiciously touched Chen Yu's abdomen and felt the surging energy inside. His face was surprised and he said, Why is your cyclone so big? Chen Yu regained his senses and slapped the other person's hand, saying, Don't touch it. What are you doing? But soon, a girl's hand touched it and said, Ward, it's even bigger than me. Really? I don't believe it. I'll go touch and see. Shocked. This is really big. Very impressive. Let me be healthy. Don't squeeze. It's my turn to touch. Chen Yu. Get out of here. He waved his fist and stopped all the boys from reaching out. As for the girl's hand, sorry, he is powerless. It's just that the positions these girls touch are constantly high and low, which annoys Chen Yu a lot. Revenge. This must be the homeroom teacher's revenge on me. Hee hee. Chen Yu sneered. Chen is resolute and resolute, how could he yield to such despicable teasing? If you have the ability, let these female classmates come every day, don't squeeze together, please make way. At this moment, the female class monitor walked forward, separated the congested female classmates, and reached out to touch Chen Yu's abdomen. After sensing the cyclone, she looked up and down at Chen Yu and said, I recorded it last week during the exam. It's indeed a big increase compared to before. Did you take any pills? Chen Yu. I ate. The homeroom teacher immediately interjected, he suffered a lot and was tired, which is why he has made such an improvement. But the growth is also too outrageous, the female class monitor frowned. Is it outrageous? The homeroom teacher straightened his waist and looked solemn. For an ascetic who has been practicing continuously for a day and a night, forgetting even sleep and diet, is this amount of growth outrageous? Oh ho ho. Upon hearing this, the students looked at Chen Yu with amazed eyes. Admired. Confidence .2, Charm .2, Luck .1. Chen Yu. After waiting for the discussion to subside, the homeroom teacher continued to encourage, I often say that grades never disappoint a hard-working person. The more you dare to work hard, the greater your reward will be. Chen Yu, who has always been the weakest student in the class, has worked hard and can still catch up with you. Admired. Confidence .3, Charm .2, Luck .1, Temperament .1. Chen Yu. Class teacher. What does this prove? It proves that no matter who you are, no matter who you are doing, the potential in your body is infinite. You want to fight. As long as you dare to fight. As long as you can fight. Sweat won't flow in vain. All the students present were stirred up by these words. A pair of eyes were shining brightly. There are still 32 days left until the college entrance examination. Seize every minute and every second. If even Chen Yu cannot win, your past contempt for him is like slapping yourself in the face. The students' faces became increasingly serious. Are you willing to hit yourself? Not willing. Times 42, speak louder. I can't hear you. Not willing. Times 45, speak louder. At Qingqing No. 2 Middle School, if the teacher says they can't hear, they just can't hear. Not willing. Times 48 the students roared at the top of their lungs. The emotions of a group of teenagers were completely stirred up by the mouth of an adult. Only Chen Yu stood silently in his original position, feeling uncomfortable from inside out, very good, very energetic. The homeroom teacher nodded with satisfaction, carrying her hands behind her back, keep this momentum. All the way to the college entrance examination arena. Yes. Times 48, finally. The homeroom teacher looked at Chen Yu with a long voice and said, I want to pay special attention to the exemplary role that Chen Yu has played in his efforts and has set an example for the whole class. God rewards diligence, keep working hard. La 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 la. The students applauded in cooperation. Encouraged. Spiritual .6, Confidence .3, Luck .2, Charm .2, wow. Encouraged. Spirit .4, Confidence .2, Luck .1, Charism .1, Walalala. Encouraged. Spirit .5, Confidence .3. Chen Yu helped his forehead and said, all right, everyone, stop drumming and start class. The homeroom teacher's eyes lit up and he took the lead in applauding, saying, be humble and cautious, humble and cautious. It's great, and you won't forget yourself just because of a little achievement and praise. You can always recognize yourself. It's worth learning from for everyone. It's great, it's great. The applause in the class became even more enthusiastic. Encouraged. Spirit point 8, confidence point 4, luck point 2, charm point 3. Chen Yu. A faint brilliance flashed in the eyes of many young students, and they applauded vigorously. Encouraged. Spirit point 7, confidence point 3, luck point 2, charm point 2. Favored by the opposite sex. Masculinity point 4, temperament point 2, charm point 3, increased male hormones by 0.3%. Chen Yu. What a sin. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Xing Bi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Xing Bi, in cultivation. Strength Chi point 1, in cultivation. Strength Chi point 2, in cultivation. Strength Chi point 1. Time flies by in a hurry. Under the supervision of the homeroom teacher, Chen Yu was unable to slack off and had to mobilize his energy to cycle through his body one after another. Let the strength gradually decrease. Fortunately, his talent is low. The bit of energy that was lacking in cultivation was replenished with just a few puffs of smoke. The only thing that needs to be considered at present is how cigarettes can be supplied. If in a past life, if you wanted to buy, then buy. But in today's world of high martial arts, that thing is not easy to obtain. I can't steal every time, can I? While Chen Yu was pondering, the homeroom teacher slapped him on the forehead with a ruler and said, "Why are you distracted? Practice. Luck. Don't stop. Dog day." In his heart, he cursed inwardly. Chen Yu temporarily stopped thinking about the issue of cigarettes and focused on using his energy. In cultivation. Vigorous Chi point 2, the homeroom teacher nodded and said, "Not bad, continue." Chen Yu. Ringtones. The bell rang for the end of class. But no one in the class got up. There are only 32 days left until the college entrance examination. Most of the students in the third class of high school have given up their break time and are working hard to cultivate. In the world of high martial arts, there has never been a theory that practicing martial arts is useless. Anyone who has no problem with intelligence knows what strength represents. If you haven't been admitted to university, you are destined not to have much development. It will only stay at the bottom forever. In the context of human crisis, it is difficult to ensure the survival of races. As for human rights, poverty alleviation, care, reduce the wealth gap. All are illusions that are unattainable. Those who cannot be punished with martial arts. Ordinary people who provoke warriors are killed, at most they will lose some money. Completely reasonable and legal. Every warrior is an important force in protecting all humanity. It is also an important property of all humanity. Arbitrarily sentencing a warrior, from a certain perspective, is damaging the interests of all humanity. Unless this warrior commits heinous crimes and contributes less benefits than the harm it brings. So, for all students, there is no other way out except for college. A true 10,000 people cross a single wooden bridge. Entering university, the carp leaps over the dragon gate, and the future is bright. If you fail, you will return to the mortal world, they are all poor kids. Listening to the bell for the end of class, Chen Yu opened one eye and looked around at the classmates who were still practicing, unable to help but sigh. In cultivation. Strength Chi point 1, actually, I'm quite pitiful too. Attention all teachers and students in the school. Attention all teachers and students in the school. Now, class teachers, please lead the students to the playground to arrange. Repeating, now please all class teachers lead their students to the playground to arrange. The sound of broadcasting from the corner of the teacher's wall made all the students open their eyes and look at the class teacher. The homeroom teacher instinctively glanced at the radio, waved to the students to get up, and took out her phone to enter the teacher's WeChat group to inquire. "Oh, it's a mobilization meeting for the college entrance examination." Putting away your phone, the homeroom teacher commanded the queue. "Line up according to your height, walk on the right side, and go to the C3 area of the playground. Finally, I can take a break." Chen Yu stretched lazily and silently followed at the end of the team. "Step out of the classroom and come to the corridor." It was found that all the students in the senior high school class had come out, and the scene was slightly crowded. Arrive at the lobby on the first floor. It was found that the students in the first and second year of high school did not fall behind either. It's even more crowded at this point. The importance of strength is evident. Several teams collide with each other, and the weak chickens in the first and second year of high school are not even opponents of the old guns in the third year of high school. Squeezed and swayed. When all the students in the school lined up and stood on the playground, it was already 20 minutes later. I saw a row of leaders sitting on the podium ahead. In the center is the principal of Qingqing No. 2 Middle School. A master who has reached the pinnacle of level 2 martial arts. In the education system of the entire province, there is a certain reputation. When all the classes arrived, the teaching director patted the microphone and said, "Class registration." "Class 1, shouted all the students in Class 1 of senior high school. "Class 1 and Class 2. The students of Class 1 and Class 2 in high school relay. Class 13. Class 14. I. Class Sani. Class 32. Finally, it was the turn of Class 2 of Grade 3. Except for Chen Yu, every student was shouting loudly. Actually, Chen Yu also opened his mouth. He yawned, "Class 3. 3 or 4. After all the class registration was completed, the teaching director nodded, leaned back on the chair, and handed the C position to the principal. The principal tidied up his martial arts uniform, leaned forward slightly, and spoke into the microphone, "Classmates, the battle for the college entrance examination has already begun. We have opened the most important page in our lives. It may make your life like a poem or a song. Perhaps it will make your dreams shine like a rainbow. Perhaps it will give you a grand stage to showcase your ambitions. Perhaps it will take you to the pinnacle of endless scenery. 10 years of sharpening swords and 100 days of riding horses to conquer the majestic pass." In June, I raised my eyebrows and spread good news. I firmly believe that my classmates have experienced this. ABA ABA ABA. Abba Baba Abba Baba. ABA ABA hiccup. Finally, Mr. Lu Sun once said. We are not ashamed of the end. Even if we are slow, we can achieve our goals without stopping. We have gone through so many storms. ABA ABA. Finally, we believe that we have a young heart. We are in the prime of our lives. We are fearless. We bravely climb high mountains. We are the waves behind us, we guide the country. ABA ABA ABA. Finally. The last sentence. Today, you are proud of second middle school, and tomorrow, second middle school will be proud of you. Thank you all. La 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 la. Thunderous applause erupted from the scene. They all woke up Chen Yu. He looked at the podium in a daze and yawned. He hasn't slept for a day and a night in a row, he's too energetic. I need to take a nap to make myself sleepy a bit. Next, the principal stood up and looked at the seat in the first row below the stage, saying, I would like to invite your senior sister. Xing Bi, who used to be a student of No. 2 middle school but is now a top student at Peking University. Students from Peking University. Beijing University, on par with Tsinghua University. Has our school ever produced students from Peking University? Once. We all knew about it in our third year of high school, and at that time, we were in our first year of high school. Chen Yu, who was originally planning to continue sleeping, heard the name Xing Bi, and his spirit suddenly trembled. When the woman named Xing Bi stepped onto the podium, Chen Yu saw her appearance clearly, her face gradually darkened, and her eyes narrowed slightly. Xing Bi. Once a top student at number 2 middle school. The top scorer of Qingqing City in the college entrance examination back then. Admitted to Peking University. The reason why Chen Yu remembers Xing Bi so clearly is not because of her outstanding achievements. But it's his sister Chen Siwen, who was abandoned by that woman. End of this chapter.